episode of Drafters TV. I'm Ben Hauver, and today we are here with my final fantasy football draft of 2020, a wrap to the offseason, because guess what, guys? It is time. NFL football is here in just a few days. We're going to be kicking it off, watching the Chiefs play the Texans in prime time. Super excited for that. I really cannot stress how excited I am for that. And yeah, this is it. I did my 2 home league drafts with friends and family yesterday, and now we're here. Happy Labor Day to the people. This is it, the final draft of 2020. Guys, don't let it be your final draft, because there is still entries in the Best Ball Championship. There's a little under 300 to go. I know Drafters is doing giveaways every 100 entries, so get in there while you still can. This thing is going to fill within the next day or two, so just get in there and draft while you still can. I mean, this tournament's awesome. I'm hoping that this team is kind of like a culmination of all the players that I've touted and I've been on. I'm going to be targeting these guys sort of just as a celebration of having a great offseason. And you know, I love doing these videos. I love the support I've been getting. Speaking of, thank you to all the new subscribers. We got a handful of them since our last couple of videos. You know, please, I really do appreciate anybody who can subscribe to the channel, like the videos. And speaking of, you know, we give away a ticket to this, you know, Best Ball Championship on Drafters every week. Been doing it for months, and this week there's no competition. There's no randomizer. Only got one comment on the last video, the Leonard Fournette to Tampa Bay video, and that commenter was, I mean, if you've been watching these videos, FF Bowler, my boy. He comments on basically every single video, so shout out to him, man. Dedicated viewer of these videos, and this is going to be it. I think this is the last ticket we're giving away, because after this, content is switching to in season, and Drafters does have a new tournament on, so we'll talk about that for a minute just while we wait for the championship to fill. It's a $3 1/3 buy-in, and it's kind of like if you're familiar with the Steps tournament on DraftKings, where it's basically like you have to win and then you win again and advance to the next level, and then, you know, if you can make it 3 weeks in a row, you're going to be in the running for $1,000, which, I mean, that's a pretty sick top prize for a $3.30 entry. So I'm definitely going to be, you know, participating in this thing and doing some dedicated videos on strategy for this as well. Look out for that to come this Friday. But, you know, going back towards the Drafters Championship, guys, FF Bowler, you were the only commenter on the Fournette video. You know, you talked about how you like Fournette, and the risk is worth it in like the 6th round. That's where I drafted him in both of my home leagues. 6th round Fournette value. I like it. Dude gets an improvement in the offensive team that he's with, and then also a lower draft price. What's not to like? Fournette is, you know, shaping up to be a great pick, and I didn't get much, you know, exposure to Fournette in the 4th round, you know, 3rd round, where he was going in best ball most of the offseason. So, you know, if I can get a little exposure now at a cheaper price with an arguably better situation, I'm right there with it. FF Bowler, as always, you know how to get in touch with Drafters, and they can hook you up with that ticket, guys. Now let's get into this draft. All right, guys, here we go. We're here. Let's see. Oh yeah, 4th pick. Love it, love it, love it. All right, love the top 4. And yeah, man, let's see what we got going on. McCaffrey, Barkley, Zeke, really standard 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna keep it standard, going with my boy Alvin Kamara. Interesting, like, talk on Twitter, like, I don't know, whispers of him potentially going to San Fran. That would be crazy. I don't think it would necessarily be a crazy downgrade for him either, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I mean, I think the Saints are going all in. This should be Drew Brees' last year with the team. You know, him and Michael Thomas are really the 2, you know, key components to that offense outside of Brees. And yeah, I mean, Kamara, I think, is locked in as the 4th pick. Edwards-Helaire goes right after him, which I love. Absolutely. I mean, this is going pretty standard in terms of what you would expect for the beginning of a draft. There goes Chubb. Probably either Kittle, Hopkins, or Galladay would be my guess as to what I land here. I'm more than happy to reach on Galladay above ADP. I mean, his ADP is 26, and I think that he is just pure value in the 2nd round. Like, I don't know what differentiates him from guys like Godwin, Hopkins. I mean, he was on pace for like, what, 142 or 3 targets in Detroit with Stafford. And I mean, if he gets that, he's a clear cut, you know, top end wide receiver 1, absolutely. in that Detroit offense. See what Tooth Doc 93 does here. I mean, I'd be happy to get Kelsey as well. I mean, yeah, Kelsey all the way at pick 21. Absolute stone lock. I'll take that all day, all night, and tomorrow. Patrick Mahomes, and that's going to leave me looking at, somebody like Jonathan Taylor or one of these wide receivers. Taylor goes, so I am now pretty much locked in. Like, I don't think I'm going to be taking, like, I would love to get David Johnson coming back around in the 4th round, absolutely. Todd Gurley as well. But really this tier of wide receivers, I think, is where you have to go when you're in this spot with both Connor and Taylor gone. In the 3rd round, I've already got an elite RB1 in Alvin Kamara, and it's time to get my wide receiver one. So really, it's like a pick 'em between, Robinson, I think, Odell Beckham, Juju Smith-Schuster, and the guy that I like the most in this range is Odell Beckham Jr. And I think Beckham's floor is definitely lower than some of the other guys like Evans or even Allen Robinson, but I mean, come on. This was a guy who we're discounting off of one bad year after switching teams, in a one-and-done coach that clearly did not have the team playing in the way that they needed to. And then, Odell's a guy who's been like top 5 points per game in every year besides that 1 year. And I think that if you look at every position, wide receiver, running back, tight end, what is a skill position player that could finish 1 overall at their position, like the wide receiver 1 being drafted outside the top 10, that's Odell Beckham to me. So, give me Beckham, especially in like a league like this where we got to throw floor to the wind and target upside. Yeah, I love Odell Beckham. And I'll definitely be looking to stack him with Baker Mayfield, 100%. So, that's the kind of thing that I already have in my mind. So I probably won't be taking any of these high-end quarterbacks, and I'll be looking to get Baker late as part of a 3 quarterback committee. I mean, Travis Kelce locks me into only having to take 2 tight ends, so it's just coming together perfectly. This is one of the constructions that I love to have in these best ball championship drafts. Absolutely. God, I want David Johnson with this next pick. Please let me get David Johnson. Leonard Fournette at pick 37. Well, I did a dedicated video talking about that, which you can see here, and yeah, I mean, little early for my blood, to be honest with you, but yeah, I like Fournette when you can get him in the end of the 5th, top of the 6th type vibes, but I'm not taking him with 401. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could work out though. It really could work out. Like, I think that he's in a good spot now, a much better spot than he was, in a team that is going to be bottom 5 in scoring, going to Tampa Bay, whose offense is absolutely loaded with very little in terms of competition. Ronald Jones, no thank you. They cut Dare Ogunbowale. And LaShawn McCoy's going to get passing game role? No. No. Yeah, Fournette, I think it's going to be a slow start. Like, he probably won't have a big role up against the Saints in week 1, but, after they ease him in and the schedule softens up a little bit, I could definitely see him going off. And if I'm about to get David Johnson right now, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, please, God, let me get David Johnson. This man is going to get 300 touches in one of the best offenses in the league, and you're getting him at such a discounted price because he had a bad year last year. But please, I mean, that's the story of this team. Kamara, Odell, David Johnson. I'm buying good talents that, struggled last year and hence are discounts. I mean, Kamara's not a discount with a top 4 pick, but you know what I'm saying? Terry McLaurin. Love Terry. F1. That's my son. But please, God, let me get David Johnson. I mean, David Johnson or A.J. Brown in the 4th round. I'm lit. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, to be honest. But I want David Johnson. Tooth Doc, my boy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Being sharp, I guess. But it's fine because A.J. Brown fell to me, and, I mean, 4th round, A.J. Brown. Seeing a bunch of Rams go, Kupp, Woods, Akers all in a row, Lockett and Metcalf both go off the board. I mean, I'm looking for Kareem Hunt right here, I'll be honest with you. I mean, as a guy who I think is going to have standalone value, absolutely, and I will just go ahead and take him right now. Kareem Hunt is one of those guys that has standalone value, but he's also the, top toppest of tier of handcuffs. Like if Nick Chubb ever goes down, I mean, Kareem Hunt would be drafted as what in the best ball, like top 5, like right behind Kamara, even in that same range. Absolutely, he would. I mean, this guy can do it all. It's just unfortunate for his standalone value that Nick Chubb is, one of the better running backs in the NFL, right ahead of him on the depth chart. But even so, I mean, I think Kareem Hunt is one of the better running backs in the NFL, too. He's going to have standalone value in the receiving game. He pairs well with Baker Mayfield, who I am going to be drafting 100%. If somebody snakes me on him, I'm going to be pissed. But, yeah, I'm all about making this a Brown stack. It's thinking ahead. I already have Odell. All right, let's get Kareem Hunt in there. And, Baker's a clear target for this team. So, really, I guess I just got to keep an eye on the person who drafts Jarvis Landry and make sure that I can get ahead of him in terms of stacking with Baker. So we see DeAndre Swift go here at 64, and I mean that's pure value to me. I think people are definitely misinterpreting the way that Adrian Peterson's addition to the Lions is going to impact Swift. I mean, I think that that's a clear indictment on Kerryon Johnson, who he's been in a knee brace for a lot of these Lions practices. I don't think the Lions feel super comfortable with Kerryon, as is evident by the addition of AP and also them bringing in Swift with a second round pick this year. So Kerryon, writing might be on the wall for him. I don't know if I would draft him still. I think that Swift is going to take all the receiving work, and I think AP is going to battle him for the first and second down work. It's not shaping up well, but Swift at 64 I still think is a value. I think he'll be the most productive member of that backfield when it's all said and done. Looking here, so I've got 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a tight end. Definitely won't take a quarterback with this pick. Don't love the running backs that are available, so I'll most likely be taking a receiver. Could be Gallup, could be Boyd. I prefer Boyd, and I think that that's who I will select if given the opportunity here. I mean, reports have been that Boyd's connection with Burrow's outstanding. This team is going to be spreading the ball out. They're going to be playing in, something pretty similar to a spread offense, getting Boyd out in space. And, I mean, look, this guy, his career stats underrated, right? Where are we looking here? 1,000 yards back-to-back years, and really A.J. Green, yeah, he is coming back, but I still think that at this point the torch has been passed, and Tyler Boyd, who I think is pretty much a shoo-in to have 1,000 yards, getting that guy as your wide receiver 3, I'll take it. I mean, when it comes to these teams, like after this point, I've got Kamara, I've got Hunt. I'm probably waiting on running back for a few rounds. Like I would take a tight end in this range, but I have Kelsey. I don't need to take a quarterback in this range because, I'm setting myself up for late stacks. I mean, I could take Baker, Tannehill, Burrow all late with these receivers. I think that what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Brandon Cooks. Because, I mean, as a wide receiver 4 and a guy who I think is, at worst, the 1B to Will Fuller's 1A, I mean, there's a legit possibility that Cooks is the alpha here. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't have a shot to be. I mean, this guy has, 4,000-yard seasons, across 3 different teams, and Watson might be the best quarterback he's played with to this point. I mean, Breeze, Brady, okay. They're pretty great too, but I mean, Watson in his prime versus aging Brady and Breeze, I mean, the argument is there, and this offense should be popping, and they just lost 160 targets to DeAndre Hopkins, and Will Fuller is the same age as Brandon Cooks, and he hasn't had over 700 yards in an NFL season, but yeah, okay, everybody, keep drafting Will Fuller above Brandon Cooks. Be my guest. I mean, it'll just open me up to taking Brandon Cooks in almost every draft, so one of my favorite guys, and one more share of him to close off my fantasy 2020 season. I'm with it. Antonio Gibson here, 7th round pick. It could be worse. I'm actually a little surprised that he went that late. I thought the hype was getting a little out of control with Gibson, but I mean, at pick 80, it's okay because you really should not be worried about how low his floor is in a format like this. We're trying to outscore 10,000 other people to get to that $10,000 top prize. I mean, yeah, Gibson might bust, but I mean, he does have the theoretical upside. I personally would prefer to target somebody like Bryce Love, who's going way later and I think is arguably more talented. I mean, Gibson is definitely electric, but Bryce Love, I mean, when this man was healthy in college, I don't even know. I think that he is the best running back on the roster, and, Adrian Peterson's departure from Washington is not like just a boost for Gibson. It's a boost for everybody there. Peyton Barber, no. He might have the most touches of these guys in week 1, but he cannot keep either of Gibson or Love off the field. And I think that Love is best suited to be like an actual 3-down back, whereas Gibson could have, like, you know, I don't even know what kind of role Gibson could have. I mean, maybe he can have a bigger role than people are expecting, and we're just being a little bit like too, focused on past, results rather than like what we can expect for the future with him. But I don't know. I'm skeptical with Gibson. I really am. Coming up here, I mean, I feel like I almost have to take Darius Slayton for the brand, aka Godius. I love Darius Slayton. I mean, I think he is by far the Giants' wide receiver that we should be targeting in fantasy. I mean, Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Saquon Barkley, they're all going to dominate, the lower A-dot targets. Darius Slayton's role is secure. He came in, played 14 games, had over 700 yards, had the touchdowns. His deep threat role is absolutely secure on this team, and I think Daniel Jones is going to sling it this year. I mean, I really do. This offense is going to be opened up, and I'm excited to see what Slayton can do. I mean, his ADP is 102. Like, I could maybe wait, but who else am I going to take? Like, I'm not going to take another tight end, not with Kelsey. Running back is looking just type questionable. I mean, like, I could get Coleman here. I could get Jordan Howard here. Or I could just wait and target, like, 2 of these guys coming up. And I think that that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably take Slayton here if I can get him. And then I'm going to look to take one of Edmonds, Pollard, or Madison, or Jordan Howard with the next pick after that. Easy. Godius. Let's go. Wide receiver 5. This man is going to go for 1,000 yards this season, and I just got him as my wide receiver 5. Like, now the question here is, do I take Tevin Coleman, who I think has a higher, like, floor than some of these guys in this range, or do I just pull the trigger on one of them? I mean, Jordan Howard is somebody I really like, and he would be an ADP value here, but I'll be honest, like, I don't think Jordan Howard has the upside that somebody like, say, Chase Edmonds does. And I don't think that Chase Edmonds would make it back to me. I mean, his ADP is 116. My next pick would be 117. It would be risky to try and wait. And I think I'm just going to take him. Like that's the thing, is Chase Edmonds has a chance to have a sustained role every single week. And like Kareem Hunt, has the chance to be, a first-round level producer if ever Kenyon Drake were to miss time, and Kenyon Drake is already slightly injured, so, hasn't been practicing in full the past week or two. So, yeah, I mean, Chase Edmonds as an RB3, I mean, I love that, and if by some stretch I'm able to get, like, Tevin Coleman coming back, that would be great. But, I mean, I would be happy to grab somebody like, Pollard or Alexander Madison even. I'm going to probably look to grab Alexander Madison here. That's going to be my goal. Can I get him? I don't know. His ADP is 114, and 114 just picked. Got 2 picks in front of me. They're going to take him from me? I mean, Tooth Doc 93, he did steal David Johnson right in front of me. I mean, what's he got? CEH, David Johnson, Jordan Howard. Is he going to do it again? I hope not. Jared Cook. That's a little questionable. Yeah, Madison. That's easy. Running back 4. Same thing as Edmonds. I mean, he's going to have some touches. I mean, he had over 100 touches as a rookie, playing with Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is, not the healthiest bird in the birdhouse. Yikes. Probably going to cut that. God, see, I'm actually confused right here because I love Mike Gesicki, and I think that he has genuine flex appeal too. It's just, how often is he going to outscore all the running backs and, the running back 3s and wide receiver 4s that would be in there. And I mean, I think that there's a decent possibility in full PPR that he could do that quite often. And, I'm going to take him here, actually. That might have been a bad pick. I don't know, but I love Mike Gesicki. I really do. I mean, he has moved into my top 8. I think he's just going to absolutely just be such a great red zone weapon for them. And, there's a good chance that Baker makes it back to me. I mean, his ADP is literally right where I'm picking next. And, I've got Odell, I've got Kareem Hunt. So unless somebody tries to stack him up with like Hooper or Jarvis Landry, I think there's a good chance. People let Baker fall. I mean, he's another guy who had a bad year, but again, like if we discount the expectations, I mean, he had an amazing rookie year. One down year, I don't think, doesn't tell the story of Baker Mayfield, and he is playing in an absolutely loaded offense. So if somebody does draft him, phenomenal pick, but I'm hoping that it would be me, to be honest with you. I mean, it's looking like I might be golden. I mean, oh no. Why? Why do you have to do it to me, bro? You're stacking Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb? Oh, no. No, this is my final fantasy draft, and I'm going to be this disappointed? Why would you do that? Damn. That sucks. This close, man. I should have taken him over Gesicki. And like Tony Pollard, like, God, I don't know. I can't take Edmonds, Madison, and Pollard, right? Like, that's kind of savage. I mean, I love Lazard here too, but I could probably get him with my next pick. I do need a quarterback, like I do, but yeah, I guess I will take Joe Burrow here, stack him up with Tyler Boyd, maybe find my way over to like Auden Tate later, who surprisingly has had a really strong camp. I mean, at this point, like, I'm getting nervous. Like, do I even trust that Ryan Tannehill would make it? Like, I probably have to take Tannehill too at this point, and then, have that stack locked up with A.J. Brown. A lot of people probably aren't expecting Tannehill to be what he was last year, and I don't think that you can, but I mean, as the QB2, he's going to have boom weeks, and I think that he will be like a solid player to pair with Joe Burrow. Like, these are two guys who, are going to have good weeks, they're going to have bad weeks, and I'll definitely add a QB3 to this roster. May not end up being a stack because, like, a lot of these guys are not stackable at this point. Baker obviously is gone. Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones, all gone. And yeah, DeAndre Washington going. He's actually got cut, so that's unfortunate for that gentleman. Which actually reminds me, maybe I should just draft Daryl Williams now, right? Is he still out there? Daryl Williams at 165 is my running back 5. I mean, I wasn't going to do it, but I mean, thank you for the reminder, Huck73, because I never actually updated my, my drafters rankings to reflect the news of Daryl Williams, so I keep forgetting to draft him. But I mean, this guy's gonna open up splitting carries with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I think that he's a phenomenal late round pick. I mean, my core of running backs, it's shaky, it's fragile, but that is, I think, the way to attack these things. You just put yourself in a position where it's okay, I mean, this doesn't look like it's the best team week 1, but I feel like over the course of the season it could develop into an absolute monster, and that's what you need in one of these things. I mean, there's theory arguments about whether or not a tournament like this that doesn't have a playoff structure, how much floor matters versus, something that does have a playoff structure where you just need to get in, and then, the weight of weeks 14 through 16 are just so much heavier because that's where the money's made. But I don't know. I really don't know what the answer to that question is, but I really do like these fragile type running back things where my receivers are super strong, which, I mean, my receivers are super strong, and I'm about to probably take a receiver here and then just pray with my last quarterback that, somebody can make it to me. I'll definitely take Bryan Edwards here and hope that Derek Carr falls or, Phillip Rivers falls if I get Paris Campbell, which both things are possible because, those are two guys that get slept on all the time. I guess I just got to take a gamble here. Who do I think is more likely to fall? Campbell, Rivers, or Carr? And can I get one of Campbell or Edwards? Who has more upside? God, such a difficult choice between those two scenarios. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just take my boy Paris Campbell here, because I mean he really was just falling a little bit too far, honestly. At 172, I mean he should be going earlier than that, and he's got a lot of upside. I mean he might be playing in the slot. He might be running some deep T.Y. Hilton-esque routes at some points, and I don't know, a lot of upside with Paris Campbell. So now I'm in a scenario where I would like to land Phillip Rivers. I mean, we're basically at his ADP right now. Yeah, 173.7. It's pick 173. So, I mean, if he falls to me, that's like insane value. I don't know that that'll happen, but a lot of people already have. These guys got 3, 2, 3, 2. Like a lot of people got their quarterbacks. But, I mean, rest assured, all of these guys are going to get drafted 100%. And, the backup plan is going to be like Tyrod or, Mitch Trubisky. God, I hope not. Absolutely hope not. Yeah. Bryce Love, pick 181. Antonio Gibson, I think, literally went at pick like 80 or 81, right? Yeah, 80. So literally 100 picks later, you can get Bryce Love. I don't know if this is a hot take, but Bryce Love is a better running back than Antonio Gibson. Absolutely he is. I mean, that is just stone value if I've ever seen it. Of course, homeboy right here takes Phillip Rivers, snakes me. Absolute savage. Can't believe. But, I should have seen it coming. I mean, I knew it was going to be a long shot for him to make it to pick 189 where I was picking. If I take Bryan Edwards with this next pick, and then Derek Carr doesn't fall to me, that'll be 3 times, because I did it with Odell and I played chicken, and then Baker got taken. Just did it with drafting Paris Campbell. Oh, well, Derek Carr's gone, so I guess that's not happening. Huck, you think you're getting Bryan Edwards on the comeback, buddy? Because you're not. No shot. No shot, buddy. I'm taking him. That's my wide receiver 7 right there, man. Come on. What did you think this was? It isn't what you thought. I don't know. This isn't a political stream, but I mean, really, frankly, I think it's a mistake to let any fans in the stadiums. But I guess we'll see. I mean, it's like a competitive disadvantage that some states that are in worse COVID conditions than others are able to have fans while others can't. I mean, if they're going to do the fake crowd noise, just do the fake crowd noise. Same for everybody, right? But whatever. I don't know. I just think that we've come so far. We've got the season. We're knocking at the doorstep. Just let it happen. Let it happen. I'm so ready. And I mean, hey, and Thursday's happening. It's happening. Week 1 is happening. Whether the full season happens, I guess we'll find out. But I mean, we're on track. These other sports are playing. NFL's going to be playing. I am ready for it. God, am I ready? I'm so ready. So I'm going to take Tyrod here, and I don't think Tyrod has, there's nobody I can stack him with at this point, but, he has some good value. I mean, he's going to be a significant, player in terms of rushing. You're not going to find any other quarterbacks with, rushing upside that Tyrod has this late. I mean, Mitch Trubisky, if that's your thing, but I mean, I know that he was named the starter, and Allen Robinson sent, a cryptic tweet out with the, the mouth zip-tied emoji. He's not saying it. I mean, I interpreted that as oh God, I can't believe they did it. Please, get me out of here. Somebody trade for me. There goes Corey Davis, and I'll take Tyrod as my QB3. Should I take Jalen Guyton? Dude's a deep sleeper to stack with Tyrod. I mean, he's basically going to be playing the Mike Williams role until Williams comes back. But I mean, I don't think so. I think so. My final running back will be Benny Snell, and this team, I hate to say it, but it kind of does need some injuries to be a team that's going to hit, right? A team that could potentially win the 50K, because I think Kamara and Hunt are really good. Edmonds as well, to be honest. Madison, Williams, Snell. I don't know. I mean, you could make the case that Madison and Williams are both going to have weekly touches too. Snell, I mean, if you look at his news thing, the most recent report was from August 28th, and they were saying that he's making a case to be in the offense. I mean, he's the clear number 2 behind Connor. It's if any of these guys miss time, Dalvin Cook, James Conner, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Nick Chubb, Kenyon Drake. Like, I've got a lot of stakes in players potentially missing time, and like that would just set me up to absolutely dominate. I mean, the receivers for this team, it doesn't matter the last two that I take, because the receivers, in my opinion, are stacked with the 7 that I've got right now, and I'm about to have 9. So, I'm going to be targeting guys that I think can, blow up and have big blow up weeks. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, would absolutely love him. I mean, he's been getting talked up by Rodgers. Josh Gordon, I'm not a sick fish, so I will be ignoring that. Russell Gage, like, he's a player that I like, and I bet that he beats like 90% of these guys in terms of, expectations for fantasy points. It's like, I just don't know if I can take him as a wide receiver 8, because I think he's going to have a higher floor, and he goes, so it's not even worth talking about. But higher floor, very, very limited ceiling, I think. And that's why he's not the type of guy that I look towards in this round. But, T. Higgins as a backup, like a secondary stack with Joe Burrow and Tyler Boyd. I mean, okay, I could see it. MVS is the target, though. If I can get MVS at 220, I love this team. I still think Lazard is the favorite, but MVS is a guy who offers a lot of potential to be the wide receiver 2 or 3 in Green Bay. And maybe I'm buying a little bit into the Rodgers revenge narrative, or like anger. I don't know. I just think Rodgers is going to have a better year than some people are thinking. T. Higgins goes. So there goes my secondary stacking option, unless I try and find Auden Tate on this list, which there he is. But god damn. Oh, really, bro? This dude has snaked me, like, I guess just once. I guess it was Tooth Doc that snaked me before, but holy Moses, these dudes are just savages. Absolute savages. Traquan Smith. All right, guys, here is the final team. Went with Traquan Smith and Andy Isabella to finish things off as my wide receiver 8 and 9, respectively. This is a pretty standard construction, I think, in a 20-round best ball tournament like the best ball championship is. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite team, to be completely honest, but I do think that there's a lot of potential. It's one of those, hyper fragile teams that has the upside to hit if things break right. Otherwise, it'll probably be a bottom of the barrel team, and like that's just, the way to draft in these things. I think it's just attack upside, throw downside to the wind, and embrace variant. So double stacked with this: Joe Burrow to Tyler Boyd, Ryan Tannehill to AJ Brown. As you guys saw, got snaked with Baker Mayfield, which was, sort of what I really, really wanted with Kareem Hunt and Odell Beckham. But, that was the biggest mistake I think I made of the draft was, waiting on Baker Mayfield. His ADP was 140. My pick was 141. I should have taken him at 124, where I took Gesicki instead and just found a bottom of the barrel tight end to pair with Travis Kelce, because how often is Gesicki going to outscore Kelce? Probably not too often. Really, Gesicki was like a flex play, somebody that I thought could help mitigate the weakness at running back 3 / potentially find its way into flex over some of the receivers. So, if I'm being honest, that was a mistake. I probably should have gone with Baker and over Gesicki and reached on Baker there, but all in all, I mean, I think the team is solid. I'd call it like a C+ type team. The wide receivers, I love it. OBJ, Brown, Boyd, Cook, Slayton, Campbell, Edwards. Like, that's such a solid top 7. And yeah, the running backs, it's just, like I said, hyper fragile. Kamara, is obviously phenomenal. Top 4 pick. Kareem Hunt, I love in the 5th round. And then after that, Edmonds, Madison, Williams, Benny Snell Jr. I guess the fate of this team is sort of tied to whether or not, Drake, Cook, CEH, and James Conner all hit, or if some of those guys miss. I mean, like, say 2 of those guys miss, significant time. I don't know. We're cooking with gas. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the giveaway is, but there is going to be a giveaway. I'm like 95% sure the Drafters is going to authorize me to keep giving tickets away for whatever type of in-season DFS type contest they're going to be rocking with. So let's just assume that they are, guys. Let me know what you think about this team. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Comment below with your thoughts on this team, how the draft went, and your drafter's username. And I will be back on Friday with some, drafters DFS content and, just, look at what we're doing for week 1. I am so excited for this, guys. So, again, thank you for watching, and I will be back to talk to you on Friday. The train doesn't stop. NFL season is here. Let's go.